30-minute HIIT dumbbell power burst cardio with kickboxing no impact workout coming your way. So what this means is I recommend having a set of dumbbells, but you could also use something like a water bottle. These are power movements, including things like power cleans and dumbbell swings that can be hard on the body. So starting off at low weight, but everybody can do them safely. So our workout looks like this. We have 4 exercises in a HIIT Tabata timer, 20 on, 10 off. Then that's our power burst with the dumbbell. Then we have the no impact kickboxing, 5 exercises, 30 on, 10 off, making it a big circuit. That sound means we are starting with our warm up. Feet hip width apart, we go to a walk in place. Our toes are pointed straight ahead. That means second toe forward. Our knees track in line with those toes, in line with our hips. We pump opposite arm, opposite leg. We focus on our posture through our workout, which means we have a gentle pull in on our belly button. Our chin tucks back so that our ears are stacked over our shoulders, over our hips. We are proud to get our workout in, to be on this journey together. In 10 seconds, you're going to hear a tone. We're going to go to a jog in place, or for the no impact modification, a march in place. All right, here we go. We bring those knees up nice and high for that march in place, still pumping those arms. If we're going to that jog in place, we're on those toes. Again, same form as that walk in place. Our knees are tracking straight ahead. We're pumping those arms. You may feel that it gets easier to gently pull in that belly button the more impact or the more dynamic, faster we move. All right. Every one of these exercises, we're bringing that heart rate up initially. Then we're going to move to some dynamic stretches. All straight in a row in 10 seconds. We're going to do an easy kickboxing combination. A jab, jab, cross. All right. So bringing that heart rate up. We're going to stagger those feet. We're going to punch with our front arm. Jab, jab, back arm, cross. Then we switch those feet. That can be either a step or a hop. So jab, jab, cross. Switch it out. Jab, jab, cross. So these are the types of combinations we're doing for our kickboxing. Everybody can do it. It's a great way to give our legs a rest using bodyweight cardio. It's also an awesome way to punch out some stress with our workouts. In 10 seconds, we're going to go to our first dynamic stretch, a lateral lunge reach. So in 4, here we go. Feet wide, toes straight ahead. We're going to sit down into one leg, stacking our toes, knees, and hips. We stand up then, pivot those feet, squeeze our bum, and reach across our body for a reach. All right, same series again, same side. Pivot, squeeze the glutes, feel that stretch through the front of that hip and thigh. As we sit down into a lateral lunge, the opposite leg stays straight. We squeeze that bum, we can feel a nice stretch through the inside of that thigh. Then, as we reach across the body, we keep our shoulder down and back away from our ear, squeezing, and we kind of feel a nice stretch through the outside of that armpit, as well as when we tuck those hips under, we feel that stretch through the front of that hip and thigh. 8 seconds, and we're going to switch sides. As I pivot, you'll see my feet stay hip width apart. And then we're going to switch directions. So stacking on the opposite side, toes, knees, hips, pivot, reach across. You're going to see this lateral lunge in our workout. Okay, so it's important that those toes stay pointed straight ahead and that we stack toe, knee, hip like we're against a wall for that lateral lunge. The depth with which we sit into that lateral lunge is going to depend on how much mobility we have in our ankles as well as our hips. Okay, so I only want you sitting down so that that chest is parallel to that shin. All right, you might notice I can keep my left leg straight. Now this is a stretch. So in this case, I want you to feel that stretch on that opposite leg. I don't want you bending it for right now. In 2 seconds, we're going to go onto our hands into a plank position for a 3-time mountain climber pause. So full plank, shoulders over those hands. We bring those knees up. 1, 2, 3. Squeeze those glutes and pause, hold. 1, 2, 3. That switches which leg we're freezing and pausing on. No back pain here. Feel free to use an incline. You can use a set of stairs, a coffee table, a couch. The higher up the surface that you use, so then you could go to a table or a kitchen island, and finally a wall. And you can take that dynamic out of it by just marching those knees. 6 seconds. We're going to start into another dynamic stretch. This is our alternating dynamic hamstring stretch. One foot flat on the floor, the other toes tapping. We reach opposite hand towards the knee, shin, or foot. Big squeeze on the bum to stand us up. We switch legs. The foot that's flat on the floor, that knee has a small bend to it. We're not locking it out. Also notice that as I reach down towards that shin, knee, or foot, I'm keeping my back nice and neutral. I'm sticking my hips out so I get a big stretch through the outside of my thigh towards the back of my knee, potentially towards that calf. All right, I'm not rounding my back, sitting down into it. It's kind of like a stiff leg deadlift, but I'm really getting a nice stretch through that hamstring, squeezing my glutes to stand. 5 seconds, we're gonna introduce that alternating power clean, taking a dumbbell or water bottle from the floor to our shoulder. All right, feet are hip width apart. We're gonna grab that dumbbell with one hand, sit down into a deadlift type position, and we're gonna push our feet through the floor, bring that dumbbell quickly up to our shoulder. We switch sides. Notice I come up on my toes. I slide that dumbbell up my body as close as I can, all right? And I softly bend my knees to catch it on my shoulder. Really important here that as we bend down into this deep deadlift type position, we have a gentle pull in on your belly button. If this is new to you, you start at those knees and you can go up to those shoulders. The last exercise of our warm-up, we go to a side shuffle with 2 uppercuts. So we step 1, 2, pivot, uppercut. All right, and then we shuffle, pivot, and 2 uppercuts. 2 steps across, pivot, and uppercut. All right, so bringing in, we start bringing that speed. Anytime we're punching here, we want the thumb outside that fist. We want that wrist nice and stiff. We're squeezing those glutes, bringing that power up from those legs, and we stay nice and low in that side shuffle. I hope our heart rate's climbing. 4 seconds. And we're gonna go into that HIIT power burst. 20-10 for 4 exercises. We have one big movement here, and that's the only jumping exercise we have in this workout today. They are jumping lunges. Our feet are staggered, toes straight ahead and hip width apart. We're gonna go down into that lunge position. We're gonna swing that arm to jump up and switch those legs. All right, cycling back and forth. If we're not jumping, we step down and back. We can drive up into a balance. Come with me, here we go. Now, if we wanna meet somewhere in the middle, we can pop those feet into neutral this way. I also call these lunge pops. Or we can go to that jumping lunge. Guess what? Already down to 5 seconds. Cycle those legs, push that floor away. Embrace that short period of burn and that challenge. We have a right-handed power clean. So dumbbell on the floor, up to that shoulder with just one arm. All right, only working that right side. Now, as we sit down into that deep deadlift or squat, my back is neutral. My belly button is pulled in. When I catch that dumbbell on my shoulder, I have nice soft knees. No rotation in that spine. 5 seconds, we go to dumbbell swings. Feet wide, we grasp that dumbbell, swing it behind us. It comes up in front. This whole movement brings power through those glutes. We squeeze the bum to bring the dumbbell up in front. If these are new to you, I want you to separate them out. Swing it back, bring it up, and then back down. No low back pain. We are not a banana here either. All right, so no arch in that back. Think of it as a standing plank. 3 seconds, we go to a left side power clean. Here we go. This is your last exercise of your power burst. We go into that no impact, 30 on, 10 off. 10 seconds left. Fly, bring that dumbbell up to that shoulder or that water bottle. This is not about weight, this is about safety here. Beautiful work. Okay, first power burst, done. Take a breather, you've got 20 seconds. 5 exercises, 30-10. First exercise is a lateral lunge pop. Told you we were coming back to those lateral lunges. Toes straight ahead, sit down into one leg, and then we're gonna push that leg through the floor and lift that heel towards the ceiling for what I call a lateral lunge pop. Come with me. Here we go. So sitting down deep, driving that heel up towards the ceiling. Stacking those toes, knees, hips in that nice straight line. Feeling the outside of those hips work. Now you can bring your arms into this movement because the more muscles we're working, the higher that heart rate's gonna go. The more cardio benefit we get out of this. 5 seconds till our 10-second rest. We're gonna go into that kickboxing. This is that jab, jab, cross, right from your warm-up. Come with me in 2. Here we go. Punch it out. Jab, jab, cross. Remember, thumbs outside those fists. Wrists are nice and stiff. Neutral position. We punch through those knuckles. Notice, every time I punch, I'm pivoting through my hips. I'm exhaling. This brings my legs and my core into that powerful punch. 3 seconds. Shake it out. Lateral lunge pop on that opposite leg now. In 4 seconds. Are you ready? Yes, we are. So sitting down, pushing that heel up towards the ceiling, popping that leg, if you will. Feeling the side of those hips work. Again, only sitting down deep enough that that chest is parallel to that shin. My leg is able to stay straight, but you are allowed to bend to get a little bit more range of motion. That's what that would look like there. 3 seconds. Push that floor away and fly. Catch your breath. 3-time mountain climber pause here. All right, dynamic stability through that core in that plank position. 1, 2, 3. Catch and pause. When we catch and pause, I want you to push back through those toes, squeeze those glutes so we're not bouncing. I don't want to see this. All right, I want to see that body stay nice and neutral. Only those legs are moving. You're down to 7 seconds. Remember to use that incline or that march on those knees. Yes. Last exercise of our 30-10 no impact is that side shuffle, 2 uppercuts. Here we go. Let's hit it. So side shuffle, staying low. Pivot those hips for that uppercut. The arm that isn't punching stays up by our face. In those side shuffles, the toes are pointed straight ahead, and then we pivot into that punch. Already 8 seconds in our left. Every time we stand up and do that uppercut, we squeeze those glutes. 20-second breather. Round 1 done. Same 9 exercises, 2 times through. Are you ready? Jumping lunges in 5 seconds. Highest point here. This is our power burst. This is where we push. All right, cycle those legs. Our feet are hip width apart. We land nice and soft on those knees, keeping those knees over those toes. 5 seconds, and this is where we feel the burn. Beautiful work. Shake it out. Power clean. From the floor to the shoulder, pick an arm. Could be right or left, come with me. Here we go. With a dumbbell or with a water bottle, depending on how new this exercise is for you. We start off low, build up safely. My body stays in neutral even though I have a load on one side. All right, I don't want to see you tipping. Deep breath, dumbbell swings or kettlebell swings in 3. Here we go. Think of this as a standing plank. Our belly button pulls in, our bum tightens. We're long and tall. We have a neutral back as we sit down into that dumbbell or that squat type position. Really a deadlift here. All right, I don't want that back rounded. We stay neutral as long as we can. Power clean, opposite arm. This power burst is tough. Short breaks in between, but you're already on your last one. When we catch that dumbbell on our shoulder, soft knees that stay hip width apart. If it's new, you just bend to those knees and then bring it up to that shoulder. There you have it. Power burst done, heart rate high. Now we still keep that heart rate up through that 30-10, lateral lunge pop. Whatever leg you want to start with. You stack the toes, knees and hips. You push that floor away and you squeeze that heel up towards the ceiling. Feeling that work to the side of those hips. Notice my toe stays pointed straight ahead and I'm not bringing my leg way up high. My core stays nice and neutral. I don't turn those hips. Oh, shake it out. Jab, jab, cross. In 5, it's flying by, guys. Already over halfway through. That includes our warm-up, right? Let's dig down deep. Show me what you got. We push our boundaries. No matter where those boundaries are, and everybody's boundaries are different. Our boundaries are different today than they were yesterday and different from tomorrow. 5 seconds, pivoting with that power from our legs, hips, and core. And we shake it out. Lateral lunge pop in 3, opposite leg. Let's go. Stacking those toes, knees, and hips. Sitting down into that leg. Chest parallel to that shin. And then we push that floor away. Toes staying straight ahead. Feeling that side butt. Engaging, working and squeezing. We're using that total body. Low impact, but powerful. 4 seconds. Our heart rate is up. Our brain is on. We're breathing heavy. 3 times. Mountain climber with that pause in 2. Here we go. Now in this plank position, I have a gentle pull in on my belly button and I have 0 back pain. No back pain here. No pinching, pulling, burning, okay? That tingles down those legs. My chin is pulled back, so I'm long and tall, as if I'm standing. And my shoulders are burning as I punch those hands through the floor. 3 seconds. And breathe. Side shuffle, 2 uppercuts to finish round 2. Show me what you got. Ready? We shuffle, we pivot, and we punch. As if we're punching up underneath our opponent's chin. And these punches are punching through anything that's holding us back mentally, physically, emotionally, existentially, because you're worth it. And we're pushing for 3 more seconds before we get another 20-second breather. Shake it out. 1 more time through. Quick drink. And then we're moving those feet. 10 seconds. We start at the top. Jumping lunges. Get ready. Stagger those feet. with or without the jump. We can either cycle, or we can pop to the middle, or we can step it down and back and drive it up. Work on that balance or tap those toes, whatever we've got. And we can alternate. We can jump and then we can pop. But either way, you've got 3 seconds and you've got this. Because you are now mentally and physically stronger from pushing. Power clean in 3. Here we go. Sitting down into those knees and hips. Neutral spine. Notice I come up on my toes as I powerfully push that floor away to bring that dumbbell up close to that body. 4 seconds. 1 more. And we're breathing heavy. Dumbbell swings. Safely engaging that core here. Here we go. Swinging that dumbbell behind you. No round in that back. Our chest stays tall. Our back stays neutral. We support the spine with the belly button in. 5 seconds. Form and safety is always first. And then we build up. And one last powerful exercise here. One last time on that opposite arm. Power clean in 1. We have soft knees to catch. We stay neutral. And we're gaining power from our legs into our shoulders, into our core. 5 seconds, and power equates to catching ourselves, preventing falls, and that equals longevity and independence. Lateral lunge pop into, out to the side, push that floor away. And we're pushing more than just the floor. We're pushing ourselves, right? We're pushing away anything that's held us back. Today, yesterday, tomorrow, push it away because you're stronger than those things that are holding you down. You're more powerful. 3 seconds. You can dig down deep and do anything. Jab, jab, cross. In 5 seconds. And now we're gonna punch through those barriers. Front arm twice, back arm once. Pivoting through those hips. We stay tall and long through the crown of that head. And once you hunched over, we're tall and strong. We're also over halfway. We're exhaling as we punch, helping us engage that core and stabilize. 5 more seconds of power, of purpose. And then we go back to that lateral lunge pop opposite leg. You hear me breathing heavy? This is hard. That's what we came here for, to be challenged. Mentally, physically, emotionally. But yes, we can. We can dig down deep. We can sit down deep. And then we can fly. And we can reach and we can push. 10 more seconds. Toes staying straight ahead. I know the hips are burning. The legs are burning. The lungs are burning. But you know we've got 2 exercises left. 3 times. Mountain climber. Hit that pause into. This is teaching that core power, meaning quick ability to stabilize our spine, our knees and hips. And we breathe. Shoulders over those hands. Don't let those hips pick up. In that stabilization, we squeeze the glutes. We catch that pull in. 5 seconds. We embrace that burn. And we don't forget to breathe. And we know we've got 1 more. Side shuffle. 2 uppercuts to the finish. In 2, here we go. Shuffle it out, pivot, and punch. Drive it up. We're gonna finish driving that heart rate up, knowing we have 20 seconds left in this workout. Giving it all we've got. catching our opponents and anything that's holding us back underneath that chin. 5 seconds. Don't let it hold power over you. You're stronger than it. Deep breath. 30 seconds to breathe before we cool down and stretch. You want to bring that heart rate down slowly and with control. Take a deep breath in. Close your mouth. In through the nose. Reach it up towards the ceiling. Exhale. Circle those hands. You're going to hear a tone. We're going to do one more here. Big deep breath in. Reach it up. Exhale. Circling. Beautiful work. We're going to start with that inner thigh stretch. Toes pointed straight ahead, wider than shoulder width. We step one foot slightly forward and lean into that leg. And then we squeeze the bum, tucking those hips under, feeling that stretch along the inside of that thigh. And we're still focusing on that breathing, bringing that heart rate down in through the nose. Exhale, out through the mouth. Squeezing those glutes, feeling that stretch through the inside of the thigh. If you need to, you can go a little bit wider. Then we go ahead and switch sides. As we move through this pointed, I do a very targeted stretch of muscles that have the propensity to get tight and thus cause pain or injury. So if you notice that any of these muscles are tight, please come back and stretch them or pause and hold until you no longer feel that stretching sensation. Oh, baby, it feels good. All right, we're gonna come down to the floor for that thigh and hip stretch. Our feet are hip width apart and my back foot is flexed. Feel free to grab a mat, blanket, or a pillow for that knee because we're gonna tuck the hips under, squeeze the bum so that we can enjoy a stretch through the front of that hip down into that thigh. If you would like to, you can reach up towards the ceiling or even add a small lean to the side. This small lean gives us a little added stretch. If you do not feel an added stretch, go back to either just neutral or arm down, okay? Tight hip flexors, tight thighs lead to knee pain. And we all tend to get tight here, whether we sit a lot, drive a lot, or if we're up walking and running. Go ahead and switch sides. Big squeeze under, small tip. Big deep breath in. Exhale. Enjoying that fabulous stretch. Oh, it feels so good. Again, take a mental note of where we feel tight, and then make sure you come back to it and stretch it either later in the day or pause here and hold it until you no longer feel it. When our muscles are tight, they are talking to us. We should listen. We're going to go back to that original leg, but we're going to take that back foot and it's going to come in so that it's in line with our front leg. Our knee now has a rotation outward. We do the same thing. We squeeze the bum, tuck those hips under. Now we're going to feel a stretch not straight on in the thigh, but towards the outside of that hip, potentially down into the outside of that thigh. We can reach up towards the ceiling, add that small lean if we feel an increase in stretch. I stretch this muscle after doing some kickboxing work because of a lot of the pivoting, all right? It tends to pull those knees in, which can really challenge this hip muscle called, for short, TFL, all right? It invests into what's called that IT band, which if you've been training for a long time, you might be familiar with as like a runner's knee. We're gonna go ahead and switch sides, tuck it under, reach it up, small lean. Oh, this side is where my TFL tends to get very tight, and it does in fact lead to knee pain, even though it's a muscle in our hip because it actually connects down at that knee. All right, so it's really important, again, if we are having pain, if those muscles feel tight, that we listen and stretch them out, because that's what keeps us healthy. That's what makes exercise sustainable for the long term. And it's all about health and wellness. It's all about what we can do consistently, right? Last stretch, we're gonna go down into that child's pose. Toes together, knees nice and wide. We're gonna reach those hands away, but we're gonna keep the shoulders away from those ears. We're gonna take a nice big deep breath in. Expand the belly, expand the ribs. Exhale. Press that chest towards the floor. We can then stack those hands. We can put one hand on top of the other, getting a little lean to the side, which gives us an extra stretch through the outside of the armpits, in potentially into that low back. Since we did a lot of anti-rotation and even some rotation with that kickboxing, this is a good stretch to add in. Go ahead and switch sides when you no longer feel that stretching sensation. Big deep breath in. Feel that stretch deep within those ribs. Exhale. Big deep breath in. One last one. Exhale. I hope you feel confident and empowered, knowing that you did something healthy and strong for your life, for your body, for your mind. So much more comes out of just those workouts than just a physical movement pattern, all right? We work on deep health, we gain deep health so that together we are stronger and we can glisten in the joy of exercise, be happier, and live our best lives. Please never hesitate to reach out to me at kinetic.balance.fit@gmail.com. Like, follow, share, comment. Your feedback is always greatly appreciated. And keep up finding your deep health journey, staying consistent, working towards your goals.